Hello and welcome. You have waited for this second leg of the UEFA Champions League semi-final. Welcome to all. First we start with Jonathan Tah. He will answer in German and English. You can ask your questions in French. First row. Hi, Jonathan. After the first leg with that many goals scored, do you have to think more defensively? I think this goes for both teams. How do you think of it as a defender? I think that our way of playing is the reason why we came so far, so we shouldn't change it. We want to play attractive, offensive football. And of course, it's very demanding for us defenders, but it's also demanding for our strikers who have to go back quite far to defend. That's the way we play, and we won't change that. Hi, Jonathan. Upamecano, as well as you got good grades for the first leg, even though you conceded 5 goals. Has it ever happened to you that the center-backs were complimented even though they conceded so many goals? After the game, it was a strange feeling with the goals that we scored in the end, how we clawed our way back. There was a positive feeling. But on the other side, damn, we conceded 5 goals. I think the result shows that it was an eventful game. But I don't think it was a bad game on any side. It was a game, very high-quality game, very eventful, and I think I've never witnessed anything like it.
You obviously have to come up against Harry Kane, Olise and Luis Diaz in training most days. I just wondered, as a defender, what sort of experience that is.
Yeah, I think it's amazing to train every day with those guys. With this quality, you get better every day, and it's because they challenge you every day. And really happy that I can play and train with these guys every day. And I prefer to watch them kill another defender, but it helps me as well in the training if they try to kill me.
Bleiben wir auf der Seite, Reihe 4, Felix Fischer.
Hi, Jonathan. How do you feel personally before such a game? Are you a little bit nervous or are you happy? Of course, I'm happy. I look forward to the game. It's a great matchup, and of course, you're focused, a bit tense, but most of all, you look forward to the game, especially when you look at the first leg. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to be playing this match, and we'll enjoy it. The most important thing for me is not to forget why I started playing football. It's because of fun and passion. That's why I'm looking forward to it. Hi, Mr. Tah. How can we see your play with Upamecano? Before we saw that you changed the defensive line. Now you're always in the starting 11 with him. How is the synergy with your colleague? In the first leg, we said it, 5 goals conceded, but no defensive mistakes. Of course, there had been games where we were rotating. But if you look not only at last week, but at the whole season, then you will see that it didn't matter who was on the pitch. We all knew what to do, no matter the lineup. No matter if it was a young or experienced player, it always worked really well. And I don't think we should focus on what happened last week, the fact that we conceded that many goals. We need to look at the whole picture. Everybody knows his role and his task and knows what to do.
Question about the difference between the first half game and the second one, because I think so far we saw two different half game. One of them, I think you got more a score in the half game, and in the second half game you are more different, more stronger. And what happened in the dressing room? I want to ask. I mean, is there something the Mr. Kompany talked to you, or is something changed for each player?
The halftime, so it was Denksy, but yeah, we conceded the penalty before we got into the halftime, so they were leading, and there's never like a good feeling. You always want to score a goal before you go to halftime, but in this case it was not like that. But we had a good feeling that we were good in the game, and that if we continue what we were doing, that we can be dangerous. But yeah, obviously you've seen the second half, how it started, and it got difficult for us. But I think the team spirit we've shown in the second half is what gives us the confidence now to go in that second game and to believe that we can do it.
Then the last one on this side, yes, please.
Hi Jona, ich bin Arthur Kovac.
Hi, Jona. How can you defend against this PSG side? Is it even possible? How is it impossible to defend against them and not allow them to score goals? The most important thing with our way of playing is to be courageous. Sometimes it looks like it's quite risky, the way we play, but it's really important to be courageous, to go into duels. They move a lot around the pitch, just as we do. The most important is to be aggressive, to win our duels in our personal duels, but as well in our as a team to win second balls. That's the best way to approach it. Jonathan, so many strikers, talented strikers on both sides. What can we expect tomorrow? Will it be an offensive spectacle, just as the first leg, or will it be more defensive? It's difficult to predict. We will try to play even better, create even more chances, and allow less chances for the other side. And if we achieve that, it's going to be spectacular. We focus on what we gathered from the first leg, what made us strong in the first leg. We will adapt where we have to, try to allow less opportunities for PSG. As I said, we believe in ourselves. You have a new jersey, a new home jersey that you will be wearing tomorrow. Does that allow you to be a bit more easier, to approach it a bit easier, to have less pressure in this game? I would say that we had great results with the other jersey as well, but the jersey looks great. In the end, it will all be about the fact that we play at home in our arena, that we have our home jersey, that we have our supporters, and the jersey might also play a role. Hi, Jona. We talked about your style of play in Paris and this weekend as well. We heard a lot of talk about adaptation. What kind of adaptations are we talking about here? Is it about the defensive lineup? Is it about the left backs that have to play more defensively, maybe? If we go into the details, I think you won't be at the other press conference on time. I heard I have to hurry up a bit. No, these are not the adaptations that we talk about. We always try to engage aggressively into our duels, and when we have a high press, there's never the case that one of the players doesn't follow. Of course, there's some adaptations maybe in covering counterattacks when you know that the opponent is strong in their transitions. You have to adapt how you prepare for these transitions so that these situations happen less often. How can you prevent these situations from even existing? But this is something that you can do with even when you have the ball. So yes, there are a few adaptations that we can do in a way that we can be more dangerous. We'll try to be in less dangerous transition situations. Hi, Jona. You played a semi-final and a final not too long ago when you were playing for Leverkusen. Can you talk about the difference in hype between these situations and now, and how difficult is it to not let it get to your head? Of course, you think about it all the time, whether it's here when I'm walking my dog, everybody's talking to me, give everything, go full throttle on Wednesday. I feel like the whole city is looking forward to this game and looking forward to winning this game at home to move on through to the final. And I've never experienced it in this way. I'm grateful to be able to witness this situation in my first season here. Jona, you mentioned the supporters and the call for everyone to wear red. When you're on the pitch, do you notice that everybody's wearing red? And how is that energy transmitted from the stands to the pitch? Is it on a good action maybe? Can you tell us about it? Of course, you notice when the whole stadium wears red. What I personally feel a lot, for example, when we went out on the pitch against Real Madrid, you could feel it in the air. There was a different atmosphere. Everybody was really focused in the moment. And yes, whenever a great action happens, on a great defensive tackle, maybe on a goal, this pushes you a lot, and you can't underestimate how much this helps us when we feel that the whole stadium is backing us. It gives us a lot of energy.
Vincent Kompany, as a former defender himself, was frustrated a lot of times when he conceded goals. Is it something that is similar to you? Do you also feel frustrated when you concede goals, especially so many goals? And is it something you can talk about with him, about that situation?
Yeah, of course. And any defender doesn't like to concede goals. But I think the coach said it somewhere in some interview that you cannot always see like black and white. You have to look at the goals you concede and how you concede them, and out of which situations you concede them. And then you have to really go into detail and analyze it. And you cannot just say, oh, we conceded a lot of goals and that feels bad. Yeah, it does feel bad, but why we conceded their goals? And I think especially this week we talked a lot about it, and is at the end small details we have to work on, so that we don't concede that many chances and that many goals.
Okay. Wo gibt's noch ein Handzeichen?
Okay, no more questions. Thank you. Thanks to all, and we'll be right back with the coach.